the comparison. That comparison is like a full blown trap. 3 years ago, I had to get off social media. I deactivated all my social media platforms and I was done. And the biggest reason that I was done is because I found myself being anxious, being stressed out, burnt out, simply because I was constantly in the habit of comparing myself to another person. I think we all realize by now that social media is a very mindless task. Like we literally just scroll on our phones, scroll. This is a phone, an imaginary phone. We scroll on our phones, we scroll on our phones, and we're just like, we're just looking, we're just looking, we're just looking. But we are really intaking a lot of information that we don't necessarily always need. And a big thing for me is that I was constantly looking at what another person has and thinking to myself, well, why don't I have that? Or how can I get that? Social media is cool because it can be inspiring, right? Like we see so many different types of people that we normally wouldn't see, we normally wouldn't be interacting with. But social media brings us together. We're learning, we're growing, we are laughing, we're crying together. So it's cool in that sense. But like a lot of the times, don't you think you be comparing yourself like a little too much? And maybe you don't have this issue. If you don't have this issue, then the video ain't for you. But I had this issue, and I had to come to realize that there is nothing that another person has that is better than what I have going on. And that's not to sound like cocky or anything like that, but that's the mindset that we have to have. Everybody is unique, everybody's situation is unique, and you can't be so focused on what Susan is doing or what Mike is doing when you're not even focusing on the things that you have going on. So, one of the things that really, really is important to understand because it took me a little while is that comparison kills creativity. And what I mean by that is every one of us is an individual, obviously. We are all unique. And if you think you're not a creative person, then I beg to differ because we all are creative. We all are creative because we are created by the master creator, God Himself. So He has instilled something in us that nobody else can do because it's unique to who we are. So when we're constantly like looking at what the next person is doing, you're diminishing your own creativity because now you're taking maybe their ideas or their thoughts and you're trying to fuse it into your own, but that's not authentic, right? So when you're trying to like grow bigger, do different things in your life, I mean, just the smallest things, right? It doesn't have to be big, but anytime you are trying to just get to the next level, to create, to grow, you have to tune all this extra stuff out, like the scrolling, looking at what everybody else has going on. It really needs to, if not stop, slow down so that you can narrow in on the things that you want to do. And honestly, nothing is impossible, but we allow fear to stop us. We allow, not wanting to step into the unknown until we have full proof that everything is going to work out. We have judgments against ourselves and insecurities. I get all that because I'm a human being as well and I go through the same things. But the comparison. That comparison is like a full blown trap. And another thing that comparison does is comparison can really leave you in this mind frame of that you are not enough. Like, because you are looking at what Susan has, and she has a house and she's had two babies, and that's something that you want. And now you're just like counting yourself out, like that's not healthy at all. So, one thing I did to really like get me over this comparison trap was practicing gratitude. And practicing gratitude is very simple. It's just about being thankful for the things that you do have versus what you don't. So when I used to get up in the morning a few years ago, like before I quit social media, I used to get up, I would immediately grab my phone and I would just go on Instagram. And I was just scrolling, da 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 da. But now, when I get up, I try not to literally look at my phone for several hours. What I'll do is I'll get up, I'll have a meditation, a prayer. I will just say, thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for blessing me with another day. Just very simple. And throughout my day, I'll do the same things. I'm so grateful that I'm able to be outside and look at the trees blow in the wind. I'm so grateful that I'm able to spend time with my friends or my family. Like just being super focused on the present moment rather than everything else that's going on around you, because a lot of it is nonsense anyway. And if creativity is something that you're passionate about, for example, like if you want to be on YouTube or something like that, like go for it. Like these are the gifts that God has given you on purpose. It is not by mistake. So if you have something to teach other people, share with other people, make people laugh, like whatever it is, I absolutely think you should go for it, because look at me. I'm doing it and I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going for it because why not? I'm not looking at what everybody else is doing. I'm just staying in my own lane and I'm doing me. So I hope that resonated with you somewhat today. And I would love to hear like what you feel about comparison and maybe some of the things that you've experienced. But definitely just stay in your lane, do your thing, and don't worry about anybody else. My grandmother always used to say, the biggest competitor is the person that you see in the mirror every day. It's nobody else, it's just you. So you are your own competition. I thank you so much for watching this video. My name is KB. I appreciate you. I pray that you are having the best day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.